All right, so I talked about yesterday that I'd be adding into what's it like to do a show like this. Well, I love sports, so that part is super, super, super easy for me. I've always talked with people, so that's super, super easy. I have strong opinions that I want to talk about things like that, so that's super easy. The PB's picks, that's always something that I've dabbled in some kind of way, but I've never ever advised anybody to pick this or pick that. That's the hardest part of this. First of all, and I don't mind the work. I mean, I have a lot of different interests and a lot of different companies, and that's just how I prefer to live my life. I'm always involved in creating something. So that's not the hard part for me. It's the amount of research that has to go into it to be able to tell somebody what I think and to know that people are following that and they're wagering money on it. That's a lot of responsibility. Something I take very, very seriously. I don't consider myself a tout. I was telling a family member last week, maybe it was the week before. I said, this is the betting aspect is for me. It's more stress than I'm willing to take on at this point in my life because I have so many interests. My focus needs to be there for so many things. This is an opportunity for me though to relate to people. It helps build an audience. I've gotten pretty good at it. I've had an incredible run this year. And so I'm going to keep doing it for a while, but I do have, to be honest, I have a much bigger play in mind that is developing, and it will show itself over time. I'm not going to become this, world famous handicapper as my number one goal. It's not. I mean, it says sports talk for a reason, and there are other interests that are developing as it relates to the PB brand. This is just one part of it. The picks make sense. It is mainstream now. It is available for everyone in 37 states. The state that I'm in, as an example, FanDuel, DraftKings, PointsBet, all of these different MGM Bet or BetMGM. It's not allowed in Florida. Florida is the Hard Rock Bet through the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino is on tribal land. And they had, I believe it was a 30-year deal to where they owned the rights to do that. And all of this stuff has to pass legislation for DraftKings and all those to come in. And it's a whole fight. So not every state has the ability to do online, but 37 states, that's a lot, right? It's 50 states, 37 have it. It's mainstream. Of course, Vegas, if you're in Vegas, anybody can do it. So there's a huge demand there. And we're building an audience, and I'm excited about that. But that's not the long play. It probably will always factor in some way. But right now, I'm putting a lot of energy, a lot of effort into that. And even as a youngster, when I play some games with some friends or even some cousins, it's like you listen to these guys, and it's a 500-star lead pipe lock and bet the mortgage and bet the house. No, I'm not encouraging anybody to do that. I'm actually discouraging you from doing that. I don't want you to do that. Play within your means. Don't do anything crazy. It's even so when I was 18, 20 and was dabbling around it, we didn't have a phone. It was not mainstream. Let's put it that way. There wasn't a phone. There wasn't a local casino. Now you live in Michigan, you can go down to Detroit and you can, access FanDuel right through Motor City Casino, even if you don't use the app. So it's all there for everybody. It's become like an entertainment piece. It's not just I'm a gambler. It's open to the people who didn't do this in the underground world before, and they do it for fun because they want to watch something. So. But that part, if I'm talking about who you should take as my all-in pick or a parlay and these things that I do every day, holy smokes, I take it seriously. Like, it bothers me. It's very stressful. It is like I'm telling, and I have people following me, right? Like, that are reaching out to me directly. Last night I put out only a basketball pick, and I had somebody message me, where's the football picks? No football picks? And I'm like, no, I just have the basketball game tonight. I have some ideas on the other one, and I shared with those ideas. I'll get to that in a minute. Interesting how that works out. But if I don't feel confident in something to the degree that I want to talk about it to where somebody might lose some money, that's a lot to carry. And I spend way more to think about this. I spent I spend or have spent a lot of screen time in my life, but I spend a ton of screen time now more than ever. And it's not even healthy, right? I have to literally schedule in off screen time as best I can because I'm constantly looking, studying, following data, trends, games, what's happening, what's the latest news, all of these different things. I'm a big documentary guy. I love to understand the how and why behind something that happens and how it gets to its final version. And that's why I wanted to talk about this today. Because if you understand what happens behind the scenes, I do think it's more believable. It's more authentic. People are more likely to follow it. I know that's how I view it. So a lot of people that I've studied, in close mentors, distance mentors, it's an important thing. So I just kind of wanted to show you and give you a snapshot into some of the behind the scenes of what it's really like. So know that if I'm putting a pick out, I've exhausted it. I am exhausting it. And if I say, hey, go really light on this one, I mean go really light. If I'm saying it's an all-in pick, which means that you can play the max amount that you can safely, I have a reason for that. And they don't always work out. And I'll get to the one last night. Finally, after 5 in a row, one went down last night by half an assist. Well, one assist because there are no halves, but it was supposed to be over 6.5, and he had 6. And unfortunately, that's going to happen. So please know that when I talk about these things, it's well thought out. I'm delving into stuff crazily. You know, I had to really think about, was this something that I wanted to do in my life? Was it something that I could handle at this point in my life? I had a discussion with my wife that it would require even more time spent than what I already spend on my other interests, because there is any free time basically that I had away from those other things is now been filled with this. But this is important to me. It's something I really wanted to do, the actual show aspect, the PB brand that's developing, and great plans, a lot of fun plans in the works for the future. We'll get to that little by little. So I just thought I'd share that with you.